first guest. You know him from Full House, Fuller House, America's Funniest Home Videos. We welcome to Afternoon Live actor, director, and comedian Bob Saget is with us today.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
This is my pleasure. Thank you. How you holding up?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I just want to give you our condolences for the passing of your friend, Norm Macdonald. I know your friendship goes back many decades, and we are so very sorry. I hope that you're holding up okay.
I am. I'm doing what we do. I've just, I put out a podcast about it. That's what we do. And I know Norm, it would be like, Norm, I don't know. I'm not functioning too well. It goes, you got to go to Portland, do those shows, make those people laugh. So I do his voice. You know what happens when you lose someone close to you, and a lot of people that are watching your show right now have experienced this horrible stuff, and you see their face, and it's all kinds of stuff. And he was a hilarious, super brilliant, amazing person, and we were very, very close. Closer than I realized, because when you lose someone, that's how you find out how close you are. So, and I'm going on tour. I start tomorrow. I come right to you guys. I'm at Helium. I go right into plugging. I lost my friend, and here are my show times.
Yeah, you're going for it. And I listened to your podcast. It was really beautiful and brought tears in my eyes. It was really wonderful. And I just want to let you know that we're going to have that podcast on our website as well, so that people can easily get to it and listen to it, because it was a beautiful tribute to him, and I know really difficult. So, but we're so happy to have you in Portland this weekend.
Thanks. I love Portland. It's been years since I've been back. So much has happened there. And I'm coming back with my buddy Mike Young, because we've always gone to Helium. I've played theaters there too, but I just love this club, and I'm working on new stuff, as comedians do. I want to do a new special, and I'm sure I'll dedicate it to Norm. He's his spirit's around, and he also is the kind of person that gives me the drive to be more creative and try new things. And it's all new stuff, everything I'm doing, new music, and I'll be able to be funny, and I'll probably address the elephant in the room right off the bat and start echoing his voice. But yes, so we're coming back, my buddy Mike, and he was directing a movie, and he took off to do some dates with me. And then I tour for a while. I'm touring for a year to get this special right. So coming to Helium is like a gift, because that place is like, it's not a workshop by any means. People are coming to see a great show. But when I play clubs, not theaters, it's more of a way for me to be loose and be like in someone's living room with them. So I'm very thankful of that.
Well, his voice still resides in me, because I still do notes to self and no, all from your film, Dirty Work.
And the shifty, no.
Exactly. No. It's so good. It's so good. And this, I can tell you, Bob, I didn't watch many movies growing up in the 80s and 90s, but Dirty Work was me and my brothers. Holy cow, we loved this movie so much.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's an honor. I'm going to talk to Artie in a little bit when we're done here. We're all reaching out to each other, all of the comedians. It's a real camaraderie, and it's an unusual family. And we look at ourselves as, I feel like I'm a fourth responder. I feel like I'm joking, of course, but comedians are essential workers, because people need to laugh. And that movie, Norm and I were working on something. He didn't expect this to happen. So, I don't know what will be. All I know is right now, it's time to pay tribute to him. And there's going to be a lot of tributes to him, quite a lot of them. So it's, it's very bittersweet. And I don't have any hesitance in performing, because that is exactly what you do. And I've done it with other losses in my life. I remember I lost one of my sisters, and I had 2 shows to do that night. Those I should not have done. But now I've got a few days, at least I can see straight. But I want to see people, and I want to make them laugh. And that's another thing that would be a huge dedication to Norm, because that's what he lived for, with that sly look in his face, It's interesting. It's interesting, because I don't want to dwell on it, but it's right there. I mean, it's everywhere. So, and he's going to be very missed. but it's so interesting. A lot of the stuff I'm doing, my new stuff is more longer stories, and it's not as long as his moth joke, which goes on till the end of time, that he told on Conan. If anybody hasn't seen that, that's quite a testament. And also, of course, my roast, where he was the only one that didn't speak horrible things. He wouldn't do it. And I said that on the podcast that came out this morning. Or last night. He said, I can't make fun of you. You're my friend. And if you look up here, there's the roast. There's the poster for the roast right there.
It was
very
so
flattering
funny.
shot of me. This is like, I'm like zippy.
No,
But,
it's good stuff. That roast is definitely good stuff. And I think it's really sweet that he was one of those people that called you up and said, I can't do this. Like, what? I can't talk mean to me. He loves you so much.
And I loved him so much. As I said, I met him when he was 17 in Ottawa, Canada, and he was thinking about being a comedian. But I remembered he had charisma at 17. I was like, who is this guy? I don't know if he's a comedian. We talked, but then years later, met, not even that much longer, 8 or 9 years later, we knew each other from the clubs. And then I would tour Canada, and then we just connected. I hosted Saturday Night Live. He was like, he would say to me, Saget, you're the only guy. I don't know why. Anything I ever do that's good, you're around.
A true testament. He had to have you there. And I've heard you also say the way for people to honor him is by getting him. Not just rewatching everything, but truly getting him and his humor.
And a lot of people didn't get him, but a lot of people did. And that's why he's being celebrated like this. That's why he is. It's not that hard to be a thinking person. Some people would go, oh, that's in poor taste. But that's what's happened, with cancel culture and everything. And my stand-up is very aware of that. I'm not doing things I would have done 15, 20 years ago, nor was Norm months ago when he was able to go out and do some things. But he, it's... the reason you bring up dark subjects is to actually say how horrible they are. And that's why, and you get a laugh at it or work on getting a laugh at it, not because you're making fun of it, but that's very, very hard to understand for some people. And we're in a time where you have to also realize that you have to honor people that take everything verbatim, because there are generations that don't understand sarcasm or satire, or how could you say a joke like that? But he would purposely bomb for a moment or longer if he wanted, just to get the audience to get uncomfortable. And people didn't walk out, and then he would get them back because he was very skilled. And I've been doing this I'm saying I was 4 or 5 years older than him, and now I know it's true. He did one thing where I saw him say on a television show that he's 67 years old. I think he was on Conan. And I'm like, what? And the audience, everybody just went along with it. He was like, I'm not like him, and no one's like him. But I have my own voice, which is I try not to lie. And that's where the truth, it can be very funny. But then I go off on concepts that I'm not as blue as I used to be either, which is really interesting. And I'm just enjoying making all audiences laugh. And you got to be 21 to go to Helium anyway. So, unless you have a good fake ID, I'm fine with that.
Totally fine. Well, you were here 4 years ago, I think it was, and life has changed for you a little bit. So as you talk about not being as blue, I have to wonder, is it because you're now married?
Well, no, actually, some of the stuff that's Kelly, my amazing wife. No, she accepts me for what I am. Years ago, I was divorced for 23 years till I had not had another wife. I had girlfriends, as people do, relationships. And there was a time where one relationship, someone saw my stand-up on HBO and just freaked out and was really upset over it. Kelly finds it funny because she knows the context of it. She knows if people, for example, at my roast say terrible things about me in terms of people that I love or that I've worked with, she knows them. So she knows that it's just, that's the joke, is that there's a lot of love going on. Whereas Gen Z is grappling with it a bit. They take things They think the roast is the news, I think.
Well, what they're doing is they're going back and Googling everything that was said to see if it was the truth or something.
But the roast was meant to be seen after 11 at night, and a shock jock morning radio show was meant to be seen never. and a book that I wrote, Dirty Daddy, which was a New York Times bestseller, which I have to say to validate it somehow, it has stuff that I spoke of and I embellished it, and the next paragraph is long apologies. So the apologies are built into everything that I've done, and so that's it. Those are my crimes, having said some things that that were or done a couple of dumb things to make people laugh. But it's really Gen Z. We have to. They're the future, so we can't go around going, oh, I hear people saying that. Oh, we got problems. This generation's they're lost, and they're not. And that's not true. I believe that people are improving, and I believe we're going to get through this very, very difficult time. And I know your city had the same troubles a lot of cities had. And I am really, I'm on it's like the Blues Brothers. I knock on the door, I'm on a mission from God. I really want to make people laugh, and I don't choose sides. I don't go political. I try not to bring up religion, except when it's, just an aside or something that's not going to hurt anybody. I'm really into entertaining and bringing people together. In Portland, you've kind of got a viewpoint most of the time for people that come into the comedy club. The audience, but I love that, and I love that club, and I love the people that come to it, and I'm very excited to see them again because they're going to see me doing all different stuff. So it's really it's a very special city to me, Portland, and I felt a lot for the stuff that happened there past couple years.
Well, we are so happy that you're coming. I'm sad that we ran out of time because I would love to talk to you just
Everyone
forever.
does with me. I never shut up. It's no worries.
I loved talking to you. Thank you so much.
You.
Our condolences
Mutual.
again. So
Thank
very
you.
sorry. But we want to let people know that we're super excited that you're going to be in Portland. Bob is appearing at Helium this weekend. We'll have ticket information and more on our website at kacu.com, but don't go away. We will be right back.
Deadly forever chemicals
It's dangerous.
leach into what you eat and drink.
It causes cancers, birth defects.
Spotlight on America continues to investigate toxic PFAS contamination.
Tuesday at 6.
Why are so many people switching their Medicare coverage to Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage? Is it because there's zero monthly premium and zero annual